Welcome to another edition of the Tiger Men's Lacrosse Report. I'm your host, Spiro Marikas, along with the head coach of the Tigers, Sean Nadlin. And Coach, Tigers this past week went down to Navy, and the way the game started, you take a 3-0 lead 4 minutes into the ball game, and Navy was probably saying, uh-oh, this is what happened to us last year. But unfortunately for the Tigers, the midshipmen didn't play the way they did last year for the final 57 minutes.
No, they came out, had a good response after that timeout, got it to even, 3-3. We scored the next one, and then it was a battle from there. I thought we had a decent first half, but a pretty lackluster second half.
I know that it was 8-7 late in the first half, and they scored those 2 goals late in that second quarter to make it 10-7. Did that maybe deject your guys a little bit going into the half?
I don't want to say it dejected our guys, but it was frustrating because it was transition based, and they got 2 quick ones. So, you go from maybe being down 1 to being down more. So it was frustrating that we allowed that to happen. We knew that they were very dangerous in transition, and didn't do a good job, stopping that. So I think our guys, after getting the success early, then battling back, and then kind of taking control of that first half was definitely frustrating. But we knew that we created a lot of that.
You made some changes yesterday. You moved Mikey Weissauer from the midfield to the attack. What went into that decision? And he had 2 goals and 2 assists, so not bad.
Yeah, no, he played well. We weren't getting a lot of pop out of our attack. We without having Joaquin there as a big dodging threat. Teams weren't too worried about us when the ball got behind the cage with our attack. So being able to put a pretty dynamic dodger back there causes the defense to not only worry about above the cage, but also behind the cage. So again, I think it worked in our favor, so to speak, but it was also evident that it was different for our offense because we got pretty stagnant at times. Guys got caught watching instead of working the ball and working off ball. So again, it's something that we're going to continue to work and become more familiar with, because we're going to need all of our guys to be more dynamic on the offensive end.
The other thing you had yesterday was Luke Downs unable to play, and Matt Nyland stepped in. And coaches always tell guys be ready, but was this kind of a last-minute thing that Luke was unable to play?
It was, yeah. He got sick the day before the game. Wasn't able to get healthy enough to get back. Matt was fairly aware the day before, but with Luke, on Sunday morning not being able to go, Matt knew he was, going to be the starter. So Matt was in a great headspace. Got out there and played decent. I think he knows he can play a little bit better, but being able to get his first action of the year, we got to do a better job protecting that.
How much does that change, and you being a defensive stalwart in your time, when you have a goalie change like that, how does that affect communication among the defensive guys? Is it a big change because goalkeepers are different?
Goalkeepers are definitely different in many ways. There's no doubt about that. It's a different voice, for sure. Matt's definitely a very charismatic, very vibrant guy out on the field, very loud and vocal. Downs is too, but maybe not as consistent. So Downs might have a little bit more of a calming communication, where Matt's is more energetic. And you see that in the style that he plays too. He's a little bit more, he gets out of the cage more. He's more active in there. So it's just a different voice. I think they both do a good job. They both take reps with our starting defense. So it's something that our guys are used to.
All right, this week the Tigers will take on St. Joe's Saturday at Johnny Unitas Stadium. 2 teams desperate for a victory. St. Joe's 0-2, the Tigers 0-3. But the St. Joe's team has played 2 very close ball games, losing to Sacred Heart and to Duke on this past Saturday.
Yeah, strong team. Again, both teams coming in very familiar with each other and very hungry, to earn a win. And Coach Ray's always got his guys tuned up and ready to go. We need to continue to understand what we need to be about, and it's being able to be much more efficient, being able to play complementary lacrosse. Not going from playing well for a 5-minute spurt to not playing well for 10 minutes here and there. You look at the game against Navy, we shoot 39% in the first half and 10% in the second half. Right, that can't happen. You know, we had runs of good defense, but then runs of poor defense. So again, we need to be much more balanced, have much more chemistry and continuity on the field.
You know, to the casual lacrosse fan, they'll see St. Joe's and say, that's a pushover. But what Coach Ray has done up there, I mean, from the time you came to Towson, I remember when St. Joe's was in the conference, they were basically a doormat. And what he has done over the last decade to turn that program around is pretty amazing.
Yeah, awesome guy, tremendous player in his own right, but comes from, you know, a great pedigree, you know, playing at Duke and being able to learn under Coach Cassis up at Lehigh and work with him when they were really becoming more of a stronger program, and then taking that and then building his own thing at St. Joe's with, you know, strong resources. And they have, you know, I think last year they had 63 guys on their roster. So, you know, he's done a great job. You know, he's a hard-nosed, you know, very strong personality guy, and that's evident within his team. He's a Canadian, so he's been able to pull some of that Canadian talent to help his squad be pretty high-powered, not just on the offensive end where you think of Canadians, but also, you know, defensively.
All right, so the Tigers will take on St. Joe's at noon, Johnny Unitas Stadium. Ben Rosenbaum and Glenn Smith will have the call. First ever Tiger lacrosse game on Monumental Sports this Saturday at noon. So if you can't make it out, which we hope you do, hope you tune in on Saturday at noon. So for the head coach of the Tigers, Sean Nadlin, I'm Spiro Marikas. Thanks for tuning in to another edition of the Tiger Men's Lacrosse Report.